Over the last couple of years, the Souls series has gone from being regarded as a bit of a niche franchise to a bestseller. And with its growing commercial success, more and more developers have attempted to cash in on its unique playstyle and gameplay mechanics. These Dark Souls want-to-bes have even spawned their own subgenre of video game, which is often dubbed as Souls-like. Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja's Nioh is the latest game to follow in these footsteps. And I'm pleased to say that even in its current alpha stage, Nioh is a very good Souls-like game, and you'd be forgiven for at times thinking that this is actually a From Software project, with how closely it follows the ideas and mechanics of their most popular IP. Upon starting the alpha demo, it immediately evokes similar feelings to those found when first booting up Dark Souls. As once the player finishes watching the opening sequence, they are thrust into an unknown world without really knowing where to go or what to do. I'm sure though that the first thing that most players will be attracted to is an altar which is situated near to where they first spawn. Instead of Dark Souls' ever-present bonfires, the player can pray at altars in order to replenish their health. In addition, any enemies that they may have defeated are revived. And finally, you guessed it, if the player dies they will return at the nearest altar that they visited. Amrita is basically Nioh's version of Souls, and as expected the player loses their held Amrita upon death, but has the chance to recover them if they return to the place where they died. Although the in-game items obviously have different names to those in the Souls games, most work in exactly the same way, and it even seems like some of the player character animations when using said items are completely like for like. Even though there are a ton of similarities between Nioh and the Souls games, it's the differences that make it unique and an interesting proposition to play through. For starters, the combat is impressively deep, as is the norm when a game is being developed by Ninja Theory. There are 3 combat stances available, high, normal and low, which can all be switched on the fly. High stance allows for the player to perform more slow and powerful attacks, but drains stamina quicker and leaves the player vulnerable to enemies due to the slow wind-up time for said attacks. Normal stance is the default stance and allows for good all-round dodging, blocking and attacking. And finally, low stance allows for quick swift attacks which do little damage, but also allows for quick rolling and dodging. It does take some time getting used to all the different stances, and to be perfectly honest, I'm still a hell of a long way off from perfecting the game's combat. But I commend Nioh in its attempts in trying something different with its combat, and even better is the fact that it all comes together and works wonderfully well. There is a heavy reliance on stamina bar management when engaging in Nioh's combat. However, unlike the Souls games, enemy stamina bars are also displayed on the screen, meaning players can wait until their opponent is tired before striking them down. I am completely on board with this mechanic, as one thing that has always annoyed me about the Dark Souls games is the fact that enemies seem to have seemingly infinite stamina. It's not unusual to see huge creatures swinging around massive weapons for what seems like an eternity without even breaking a sweat. So it's nice to see that Nioh's enemies are on a level playing field with the player. Another point I should mention about the stamina bar is that when it is depleted, the player becomes stunned and must then wait until half the bar refills, leaving them completely open. This is also the case for the game's enemies. At first it took me quite a while to get used to this, and I'm sure that some players will hate it, although personally I think it makes the combat even more tense, and I have no real problems with its inclusion, even if it did make me scream on occasion when I ran out of stamina, resulting in my character becoming stunned and then getting killed when fighting a particularly tough boss fight. It's not just the bosses who are tough though, the entire Nioh Alpha Demo is pretty damn difficult. All in all it took me about 4 hours to finish, and to me it definitely felt on par with the original Dark Souls in terms of challenge that it provides. The Alpha Demo features 2 decent sized areas to explore, which are all intricately woven together, full of secret areas to explore and items to find. Something that Nioh excels at that perhaps the latest Souls games don't, is its wonderful sense of interconnectivity. I genuinely felt joy as I kicked down a ladder I found at the end of an optional hidden path, to find that the ladder led me to the area where I started the demo. Another brilliant little shortcut was managing to get to the other side of a wooden door which was situated at the start of the second area, opening it and then being able to bypass most of the area and run directly to the final boss fight. If the rest of the game is as well designed as the 2 areas featured in the alpha, then we may be in for a very good game. Of course, with it being an alpha there are a few bugs and glitches here and there, but for the most part Nioh feels pretty polished for a game at this stage in development. To be quite honest, as much as I love the Souls games and am currently enjoying playing through Dark Souls 3, I've become a bit fatigued by the whole franchise, due to playing through all of them bar Demon Souls. The Nioh Alpha however takes enough good ideas and gameplay mechanics from these games and intertwines them with new ideas to make it feel unique and appealing. I have to admit my experience playing through Nioh was quite a pleasant surprise, and after completing the alpha, I am now quite looking forward to its full release. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and please let me know your thoughts about the Nioh Alpha Demo in the comments section below. Until next time, goodbye.